And I think we are live. Hi, everyone, and welcome. Tonight, I'm going to be talking to John Lokerse and Dan Rios about Bicep. So let me introduce you guys. Let me add you to the stage. Hi, John. Hi, Dan.
Hello.
How are you guys?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good. Right, good. Right, John. We'll start with you. Do a little introduction of yourself, where you live, what you do, and then what you like doing.
John Lokerse. I do a lot of stuff with Bicep, of course.
Cool.
I think
Awesome.
many people know me because of that. Also doing a lot of contributions to AVM, Microsoft's documentation and stuff. And I work as a DevOps consultant. So I do everything with Azure DevOps, sometimes GitHub, and Azure.
Cool.
Yeah.
And you're from the Netherlands, correct? Is that right?
I'm from the Netherlands, yes. Sorry, I'm from the Netherlands.
Cool.
So I'm 1 hour in the future right now.
1 hour ahead, so 9 o'clock, where you are? 9 p.m.?
9.
We'll try and not keep you up too late. Dan, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Also, surprisingly, do a bit of Bicep here and there. Currently an architect, and I'm here in the UK, so I'm not in the Netherlands, so same time as you, Greg.
Cool.
But yeah, no, it's good to be here. Good. Looking forward to the chat.
Welcome. So you guys are MVPs in Azure, same as me? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm actually an Azure MVP and developer technologies as well for DevOps. And I think you are too, Dan, right?
Yeah, I picked up that one this time around. Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Which is pretty cool. Yeah, pretty awesome.
Very cool. So tonight we're just winging it, folks. We've got a bit of I'm going to ask you guys a couple of questions. I've got 4 demos. I think John wants to demo some stuff as well. The main goal is just to talk about Bicep, show some examples of AI Bicep stuff, and if anyone's got any questions, feel free to shout out. Hi, Ahmed. Thanks for joining. He's in New Zealand, so way early in the morning. So morning to you. Hope you're wide awake. Right. So, John, first of all, I'll ask you, what do you like about Bicep, and how long have you been using Bicep?
So I've actually been working with Bicep for like 5 years ago, I think, 4. I actually bought the book from Freek Berson.
Yeah.
That's how I got introduced to it. So I was working at ARM templates at some Dutch company. And then I got introduced through the book with Bicep, and it all started from there. So I really liked it because it was so simple to just define a resource instead of needing to deal with all the syntax from JSON. That's what I really liked about it, and that's why I explored it more, and then starting to blog about it because I wanted to document everything that I learned.
Yeah,
that's how I started with my my blogs.
Okay,
and that's how I started my Bicep journey.
Nice. Let me flash up your blog post just first of all. So John's blog is that one, johnlokerse.dev, for anyone who wants to have a look at that. I'll flash that up later on as well. Dan, same question at you. How long have you been using the Bicep, and what sort of do you like using Bicep day to day?
I do, yeah. My Bicep journey was a bit different. I started off in the dark side in Terraform.
Oh, who's a giant button?
Yeah. So I started off in Terraform. I loved Infra's code. Obviously, Terraform it was enjoyable, but yeah, I got exposed to Bicep probably more than 2 years ago now. So it was pretty new then. It was fairly unknown, and a bit like John, I really loved the simplicity behind it. It just felt very intuitive to pick up. I'm not from a developer background, so I always felt like I would struggle a bit more picking up some of the concepts. And with Bicep, I felt like I didn't have as much of a struggle with that. And to be honest, I just like not having state, because at the time in Terraform I had some state pains, and it was just nice not having that problem. And then also, yeah, that was my segue to blogging, but that's kind of where my passion for sharing with the community really started ramping up through Bicep, the community, meeting with John, and going from there. So yeah, it's awesome.
Very cool. Yeah, I've flashed up Dan's blog as well. It's Rios.engineer. I like the name of that. That's pretty cool. Okay. You guys, you guys got together and created a LinkedIn group for Bicep users. Tell the people a lot about that, and I will share the link to that.
So we started it like a year ago, I think, in around May. We created a group just to bring people together, like Bicep enthusiasts together that want to learn more about Bicep or get up to date with Bicep. And then we went from there. We shared content on every weekly basis since for a few months last year. And doing it this year again.
Yeah,
we have a lot of stuff to do.
Yeah,
how many people?
Isn't it?
How many followers have you got, Dan? Have you got quite a few people in that group? Have you not?
Yeah, we're about to hit 2,500 now, which for a group thing is pretty cool. And I think the cool thing about the LinkedIn group is, so like there's Discord communities, isn't there? Like there's the Azure one, there's Foundry one, there's all sorts of stuff like that. And I think they're really good for like informal, casual interactions with the community. But I think with the LinkedIn, it seemed to work really well for a wider scope of people, because I think something like the Discord side of things would have kept it a bit smaller and wouldn't have been as more inclusive. Not to say it's exclusive, but you know what I mean? LinkedIn seemed to pick up quite a good tech community over the last few years. And I think that really helped the group grow and obviously bring together all the Bicep community under one roof. And yeah, it's really awesome now. I think it's quite a good it's a good group.
Yeah, Alan says it's an awesome LinkedIn group. Yeah.
Thank you.
Must have to say, huge appreciation for this. You have to excuse me, I'm losing my voice. I've learned a lot just from that group. So you guys post on there some excellent content. So really, really good. Keep it going, and the numbers will definitely get higher. But 2,500 is a lot of people.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is as well? Is sometimes you don't have to share something complicated, right? Like I don't know about you guys, but you get lost in the people you know in the community are like very talented, right? Like MVP or not, like there's tons of non-MVPs who are absolute wizards. And obviously a lot of them are in the group and in the community, but sometimes people haven't, they're just starting, or, they don't even know about AVM just because they're starting out. So like the simplest of share can be quite impactful for anyone that's doing it. And I think that's where the group's really good for Bicep.
Yeah, I would agree. Alan's also saying there's less spam on LinkedIn than there is in Discord. So So you mentioned AVM. For the people who don't know what the AVM is, John, do you want to go into a bit of detail about what is the Azure Verified Modules?
So AVM stands for Azure Verified Modules, and it's a Microsoft repo or an initiative to share production-ready modules that you can use from, let's say, from the shelf, like from the library, that you can implement in your projects right from a container registry hosted by Microsoft. It's fully tested. It's just amazing to use, actually. Sometimes it's frustrating, though. I will be honest here, because sometimes you will miss properties that you need, like output properties, or there's a new version, and it takes some time sometimes to go through all the tests. But that's also the strength of AVM, that there are a lot of testing involved, so that when you call the module that it's actually working as intended. So that's what I really like about AVM. Just off the shelf, ready to implement. You can accelerate quickly. Also with agents nowadays, it's a really good source for the agents to learn Bicep and then implement in your project.
Yeah, if you remember as well, before AVM, there was that Carmel GitHub. I don't know if you guys remember that, right?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Like Microsoft consulting arm where they put all the modules, and they were really good, like quick starts or references, but they weren't really maintained. So you'd get frustrated quickly that API versions are like years out of date or something didn't work anymore. So when AVM came along, it was just amazing to not have to reference that, or even the old public registry that was a bit smaller, because there's just so much in there now. Like the AVM registry, it's huge.
Yeah, shout out to the guys who create that because that's an awesome resource. Yeah, I think. What's your favorite part of the whole repo? Because I know what mine is. Mine is the usage examples is always good.
What the example like main tests and the end-to-end ones, or
yeah, you can go in and see what the properties actually are, and it gives you like an example of how to fill it in. It's just that's my favorite part of it.
So what I really like about AVM is that it's open source, right? So you can contribute your own ideas, or you can improve the other modules.
You guys contributed to that?
Yeah. John's quite an avid contributor, I think.
Yeah, I'm a heavy contributor with AVM. I just really like to do it in my free time. I'm writing Bicep for like a whole evening. So I contributed the DevOps, the managed DevOps tools one. I learned a lot about how they work actually. So like what you need to deal with when you want to release a new version or a new module. It's a lot of steps. Like it's very as well. There's just a lot of testing involved that they are 100% sure that it works, and it's that's just awesome.
Yeah, but you learn a lot, didn't that? Yeah, the way it works and how pull requests work and all that kind of good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I always like, if you want to see how to test really rigorously, it's actually a really good repo to draw some inspiration from, because especially if you contribute, because if you go through that process and set everything up and then contribute back, you realize how much testing's involved. It's actually really cool. And yeah, you can take some of that as inspiration back to your own internal repositories as well. So that's where it's really cool. And I really like the what I think the main thing for me, the new, well, not new thing, but one they're putting more effort into recently is the pattern modules. I think that's going to be really huge soon, because as much as I love Bicep and getting in the code, sometimes it's not that you can't be bothered, but you want to accelerate quicker, right? Like, so having a pattern module that just does like Foundry and all the bits, or I think there's even the empty landing zone one now that they're going to start building out, just like, stuff like that's just going to be so good.
Yeah, for the people who don't know what a landing zone is, John, explain to us what a landing zone is and what's the benefit of doing landing zones, because they're getting more and more popular, and some customers of ours are like, we hear about landing zones. Why are they cool, and what's the benefit of using a landing zone, in your opinion?
Me or Dan?
Yeah.
So what I always like to say is that a landing zone, there are two different types. Okay, so you have a platform landing zone and you have the application landing zone, and then you have the Azure landing zone. That's everything. So I normally do those three kind of types. So platform landing zone is where your connectivity is, the core of your network and your platform. You can have shared features and stuff, shared services, and then you have the application landing zone where where workloads or teams can land in and do their work in. So host their application and host their database, host AI Foundry, whatever. You can do everything with a landing zone. So that's what I always tell people when they ask me what a landing zone is. How would you describe it, Dan?
What he said.
What John said.
No, I think with landing zones, like it's like being done to death, isn't it? Like Microsoft have documented it so well. You can go and read everything you need to about landing zones adoption, like the accelerators as well. Like it's so easy to adopt enterprise scale, even smaller versions of that. I think some people are a little bit against the whole, the full whack of enterprise scale and things like that, because it can be a little bit overkill. But I think if you're just looking to, especially to accelerate from a Bicep point of view, even Terraform, I think, like there's just so much material there to go and see the concepts, learn about them, even deploy them just to understand how that all works. So yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I think that's how I kind of got up to speed with landing zone. I deployed an example one from Microsoft and went, right, try and explain what this is and figure it out. That's kind of how I always learn. I like to see how it's deployed and see how these things are talking to each other. Yeah, landing zone's very popular.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys join the Bicep community stand-up. Do you guys go to that?
Try
to.
I have no, it's always at a time that I can't manage. So tell us about that. So the Azure team have a community stand-up. It's all the Bicep guys, women as well. Sorry, and they all chat about Bicep and tell you what's upcoming. Is that? Tell us all about that. Dan, tell me about that if you go and watch that.
Yeah, we both try and join as much as we can. Yeah, the times it can be. I think they do 2 times. They'll do. I think it's usually 5-6 p.m. Europe time, and usually 10 p.m. 11 p.m. Europe time for the America side when they switch up the time zones. But yes, I mean it's effectively their product group call, right? Like the team get on and they'll update the community on it. It could be anything, a new idea they're thinking about proposing, or a new feature that's coming out soon, or demoing an experimental feature to get feedback, discussing roadmap items. Like recently they discussed about version 1 roadmap coming soon, maybe this year, we'll see. And it's obviously a really cool way to interact with them, provide direct feedback, say what you'd like, what you don't like. And I think even, some people from the community have presented back to the community call.
That's cool.
So yeah, it's a really good forum, I think, to join, especially if you're involved in Bicep, using it day to day. If you can join it, even just listening in, I think you feel a lot closer to what's going on and what's coming. Because like in today, it's impossible to keep up with everything, right? Like there's just so much info. Like if you're not even just Bicep. So if you're laser focused on IAC, it's a great way to like filter out noise and just see what's going on. So yeah, it's awesome.
Very cool.
Yeah, and also it's also a place for people to demo their work. So you can actually ask the product team.
Oh, nice.
If you show what you have built, if you're so proud of something, you can ask that. So I saw some people that have done that before. So that's pretty cool as well.
They have not managed to join it yet. It's always at the wrong time for me, unfortunately. Yeah. So we've got a question from Alan. Let me flash that up. So I'll let you answer that, John. Have you got any tips on how we can contribute, move some of the modules forward?
Yeah. So what I will talk from my experience. Normally, what I do is when I use a module, like at work, I see things that can be better or that can be improved. So that's one way to contribute if you want to contribute. And the other way is I really love user-defined types. So for people that don't know it, you can actually strongly type arrays or objects in Bicep. There are a lot of parameters that are loosely typed, so they are just an array or an object.
Yeah.
That's what I do as well. So I do just a contribution on types, making it better. Because if you call a module and you have to fill in a parameter that we expect a type of a value, you want to be guided by the user-defined type. That's what I want. And if I don't get guided by the user-defined type, I have to actually look into the code, check what is required in that specific type. I think those kind of contributions are really valuable for the community, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, very cool. I'm just going to add another banner here. Yeah, cool. Okay. I'm going to ask you another question, but we'll wait to the end for this one. Do you guys have any? I've got a few links here that I'm going to pop up. Do you guys ever use the awesome Azure Bicep from Helios?
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that, Dan, for the people who don't really know about
that. So I guess if you don't know about this repo or awesome in general, I think a lot of people use the sort of the awesome tag to essentially curate like a huge list of learning resources, content, labs, blogs, videos, forums, everything about that topic. So for the awesome Azure Bicep one, it's just like this really, really epic list of things to view around Bicep. So there'll be tons of community content on there. So like blog links, really cool blog links, videos, podcasts, and even just like learn links or like videos to like random Microsoft YouTube videos on like a demo they've done once that you probably would have never really have ever seen before. So yeah, it's a really cool curated list of content around Bicep. So if you've not seen it before, I'd definitely go check it, give it a star, contribute as well. If you've got stuff on Bicep, definitely just raise a PR, get it in there.
Yeah.
Are you guys using it? I know John does, but
yeah, I use it all the time. Yeah. I don't even know if my blog's on it. I need to probably add it. But yeah, I started something like that, and then Eli has done a much better job of it. So he's got content from everyone around the world. So yeah, very cool.
Very cool.
Okay, there's a video that I wanted to share. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but there's a guy, I'll never remember his name. Let me see. A guy called Daniel Scott Rainsford. So I want to give a shout out to Luke. I've totally forgot Luke's second name. That's yeah, what's that, sorry?
Luke Murray.
No, hang on, let me find it. Totally forgot his name. Luke Murray, sorry, Luke, totally forgot your name there. Yeah, so Luke sent me this video, and it's the title of the video. I'll see if I can fit this in a banner. Let's see if this works. Let's see if this works. Yeah, so let's go to that one. So this guy's written the right GitHub Copilot custom chat modes, which we'll come on to once we start doing some demos. So this guy shows you how he writes Bicep using GitHub Copilot chat modes. So we'll demo that in a little bit, but I wanted to give this guy a shout out, and shout out to Luke, who pointed me in this direction, because I don't really write Bicep anymore. I use an agent to do it with a prompt. So we'll show some demos of that, but I just wanted to give this guy a shout out because his content is brilliant. He has a really interesting idea where he creates an agent that's called Mentor. And inside VS Code, you can ask it questions about anything, and it'll kind of ask you, it's like talking to a mentor. So I was like, tell me about private endpoints, and it tells you about private endpoints, and then it's like, where would you like to use a private endpoint? And then you say, like, between a web app and a storage account, and then it tells you all about it, and you can use it for anything. So we'll demo that in a wee minute. But I wanted to give that guy a shout out because his content is really good, and a really awesome YouTube video where he goes into detail and shows you how to set it up and explains it and goes on and on. And the longer the video goes, the better and deeper it goes into what he's talking about. So very cool. He's also got, let me show you this as well. He's also got a banner.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, no, it's really good.
Cool.
Worth checking out. And he's got a GitHub Copilot assets library as well. So this is the same guy, and he shows you how to create agents and things like that. But we'll demo that in a little bit. Right, shall we do some demos? Shall we crack open VS Code? Do some stuff. John, do you want to go first, or do you want me to do some stuff first? Anything you want to show us? About?
Yeah, I want to show something on the GitHub Copilot for Azure.
Right. Okay.
Because I've done a blog recently on this, so it's fresh in my mind.
Cool. So this guy is that guy's a cloud solution architect in Microsoft here in Auckland. So yeah, very cool stuff. Okay, John, do you want to add your laptop in, and I'll add it to the. There we go.
Yeah, so I shared my screen. I'm going to zoom in because
what I'll do is I'll see if we can somehow.
Let's see.
If we can get rid of everyone, and yeah, there we go. And I'll get rid of the banner.
I've zoomed in so far that I cannot even look at my screen. I think this is okay, right? So I've been looking at the GitHub Copilot for Azure, and it's an extension for GitHub Copilot. For Azure, let's see. So it's the one with the Azure logo, but it's GitHub Copilot. So what it does, it's a extension that specifically has tools for GitHub for Azure. Mm-hmm. So you can actually use add Azure in Ask mode to get help with Azure services, of course. But you can also use it in agent mode to let the agent create Bicep, and it's actually validated during your code generation. It's actually validated against code best practices. It automatically does this, does that, and also checks for the schemas. So that are different tools. The schema, for example, if you have a key vault that you want to generate, it actually looks at the schema in the Azure side for the properties it has and which properties it has for that specific schema or resource. So it's pretty easy and straightforward. I can actually, let me move this one. If you open GitHub Copilot, you can actually do a hashtag, and you can see a list of resources.
Cool.
Tools, actually. You can also turn them off and on in the, what is this called? Toolbox thingy from GitHub Copilot?
Tools, I think.
Yeah. So it's actually in this list. I have a lot of MCP stuff going on. So it's all here. So it's an extension, GitHub Copilot for Azure. And here you see all the tools. It's pretty nice. You can actually design an architecture as well from infrastructure as code. So let's just ask one. I've chosen the agent mode and this model. And you can actually ask, hello, GitHub Copilot. Pilot, you are an Azure Bicep developer. Your task with creating an Azure key vault. Generate this with the best practices. So I will. You don't have to define the tools, but I will do it. Best.
So there's a tool called Best Practices here that you're referencing to basically make sure that the agent checks that. That's awesome.
Yeah, you can actually instruct the agent to look at the code best practices, and you can do a schema. So you actually know that it's being called. I think it will indirectly, implicitly call these tools because it knows. But I will just do it for the demo. I will just do it like this. So, I did
too many tools. Yeah, you need to. There's a limit, I think, on how many tools you can use.
Yeah. Okay.
This one's.
So let's do the same thing. New. I will just do a new one.
Wouldn't be a demo without an error.
Yeah, no. Wait to see me trying that. I think you need 128. You've got.
Yeah, I have 126 selected.
Oh,
wow, what a great tool. So, okay. This was my demo, I guess. Let me restart VS Code for a bit.
Yeah, no worries. Don't worry, my demos will fail rapidly later. So
I don't have the VS Code.
You've actually written a post on this, so let me create a banner. So if anyone wants to read up on John's post on this, let me just do that. This is John's post. It's part of the Bicep users group. So if you join up the LinkedIn group, you'll be able to see that.
Yeah, it's weird. It's still doing it. Okay. So maybe you can go first, and then I will take over.
Yeah. I was hoping you were going to demo first. Right. Okay. I need to share my screen, and let me try this. Oops. I did share my screen again. Let's figure this out. So share screen. And then we do entire screen. Share that. Okay. So can you see my screen? Hopefully.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, let's see. So the first demo I was going to do is how I use. So I'm in VS Code. I'm using Insiders, but it doesn't actually matter which version of VS Code you use. So I'm going to use the Copilot. Agent mode. I'm not even going to use. Yeah, we'll use agent mode, right? So I'm going to basically say, write the Bicep for creating a resource group, storage account, managed identity using Azure verified modules. So I'm just going to paste because, unlike John, I can't type. So I'm saying, write the Bicep for creating a new resource group, storage account, and managed identity using AVM. Use modules, not resources. So this is an empty file, right? you can drag this file onto this bit here to give it the context. So it's going to add it to this file, and I'm just going to use. Well, I'll just use that agent first of all. So shout out here to. Oh, I can never remember Andy's name when I'm doing these. What's his name again?
Gregor, the banner is in the way, I think.
Oh, the
Yeah.
banner.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Well, let me move the banner.
So you have
there we go.
selected a specific mode or something?
So there's agent mode down here.
Oh, yeah.
And I have created some agents. I'll demo how to do that in a second, right? But I have created. Let me show you, right? So let me go to this. So, what's his name? I can never remember the game. The guy's name is I forgot his name now. I'll come back to his name. So I've created beast mode. This is someone else who's created this, and it's an agent, right? So you give the agent, and you create an agent, and you give it instructions, right? So it says this. You are an agent. Please keep going until the query is completely resolved. So basically, you're giving the agent instructions to say, go and search the internet. Don't come back until everyone's correct. If there's any issues, iterate through the issues until it's resolved. You can use this agent for anything: C#, Terraform, Node, any kind of code you want. This is just come out, version 3.1 I'm using. I'll put up the link to that in a minute. I'm kind of sharing screens now, and it's getting a bit awkward. So what it's doing is it's using the fetch web page tool. So that was a bit like your hash, whatever it was you were showing there, John. And it goes away and tries to do stuff, right? So it's going to go and I'll show you it running. So let's just try this. So this is me using VS Code agents to write code. So I'm not actually going to type any code here, and I'm just going to cut codes. Hopefully mine works.
You're going to vibe codes, right?
Yeah, we're vibe coding. So I don't actually like Bicep anymore. I get these agents to do it. Yeah, honestly, I don't write code anymore. I don't tell anyone at work that. Hopefully nobody from work watching. But yeah, I couldn't tell you the last time I wrote Bicep. It does take a couple of seconds because obviously it's going out to the internet to go and get like best practices. It's going to look at AVM modules, blah 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 blah. I've got different agents.
This one is actually going to AVM and checking the exact links.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I'll show you some other agents. I was tinkering with the agents. Now, the more you tinker with the agent instructions, the more you learn about it. So first of all, I was saying, like, go to the GitHub repo, check the AVM modules repo, fetch the results of that. But what I was noticing, it was creating Bicep, but the versions were wrong because it was just guessing the version. And then I watched the guy from Australia's video, and he's like, you can actually say, run this command and it'll go and get the list of the latest versions of all of the AVM modules, and then now it's always correct. So you'll see here it's red, right? So it's like there's some errors in here because it's basically guessed the storage account version, so that's wrong. So if you watch this, so it says, look, we're getting some errors. I'll go and figure out what these errors are, and it actually fixes it for you. Wait, you see this? It's pretty cool.
I think if you combine this with the GitHub Copilot for Azure tools,
Yeah.
insane because
this is really cool. And the more I've got it on beast mode, but I think this, like, there you go. See it's changing it. So now because it's changed the version here, right? It's the parameters are wrong, so it will say, okay, I see we need to update the parameters. So it actually identifies the errors and then fixes it, which is amazing. No, it's taking a wee bit of time, right? But like, imagine you want to deploy, I don't know, a landing zone with blah 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 with all these resources. You could just go away and make a cup of tea and come back, and it's done.
Or just do it during a meeting or something.
Yeah, totally. So there you go. It even apologizes for the error, right? So it's basically like, oh, we've updated the version and now it's wrong, so it'll go away and fix it. It's kind of nuts. That wasn't really the thing. Yeah, so there you go. It should now it's created. So it's going to create more files. That's interesting. It didn't do that earlier on. That's interesting. It's creating a storage. So now it's going to create other files. It's actually going to create a storage account and a managed identity Bicep. Again, if you don't want it to do that, you can basically tailor the instructions of how you want it, right? So it's now created a storage account.bicep file here. So there's your storage account, right? There's my managed identity. Or you could say just put it all in one file, which is normally what I would do. But so now I'm going to get it to create a Bicep parameters file based off of this code, right? So I could even say create me a PowerShell file to deploy this, and it'll do it all. So there you go, and it even gives you like the instructions of what it's done. So it tells you what it's done.
Yeah.
Main file. These files are structured like this. To deploy this file, you would use that. Right. To create a resource group, you could do that. So the next thing you can do is say things like this: create a Bicep parameters file for me also. Right. I was only playing this like 10 minutes before we went live, so I'm just winging this, right?
So I just did it with the GitHub, the one John was just trying, the Azure one, and it did actually also create me a PS1 deployment file with a load of funky colors from deploying and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's nuts. Now you can use this for C#, PowerShell, Terraform. I'm using beast mode forever now. I had ones for like Terraform, I had ones for Bicep, I had ones for PowerShell. You don't even need that anymore. It's kind of crazy. I'm not looking at the comments, but hopefully people are kind of watching this and kind of getting their mind blown a little bit. Burt Holland, thank you, Ahmed. Thank you very much. That's the guy's name, Burt Holland. We'll go on the banner. Right. So now we've created a Bicep parameters file. It's in JSON, right? I don't want it in JSON. It's also put it in EastUS. So let's just say, create me a Bicep parameters file as well. Right, so I want to show you a demo of like it also updates multiple files at the same time. So I'm going to get it to create a Bicep parameters file, and then I'll say change it from EastUS to WestUS. And again, if you don't like the layout or the way it does it or anything you see wrong, you can just prompt it, really. So I was having a laugh with you guys before we went on. I don't write Bicep anymore. Can I see why? It's crazy.
Asian modes everywhere. But I found I've been using the Asian mode with Claude Sonnet 4 personally recently, and it's just been incredible. Like it's just been so good.
So there it's done it, and it's like, okay, it's created it in West Europe.
Cool.
Yeah, you can kind of see the things. The other one I wanted to show you was I've got an existing repo. Right, let me go into this example. So let's say you've got an existing repo, right? I haven't done anything with an agent, and this was written well before agents existed, right? So I'm going to say, please review my Bicep code. What did I put? Here we go. I'm just going to copy it because I cannot type. So I'm going to say, review my Bicep code and suggest how I can make it more readable, use best practices, and if show me how I can make things more secure, right? So let's just run this because I wrote this Bicep a long time ago. Let's see what it does. So it's going to look at the entire folder structure and look at the Bicep files first of all. And then, right, so it's going to help me read it for readability, best practices, and security improvements. So, yeah, so there's what it's doing, right? So it's creating a to-do list, which is kind of nuts. So it's reviewing main.bicep first. What's your thoughts on this? Have you seen this, how this works? No? Is this kind of new to you guys, or do you use this?
Beast mode, yeah, it's definitely cool.
Yeah.
Looks cool.
Yeah.
But agent mode, I've been using it for a while now.
Me too. Yeah. I read about beast mode the other day, and I was like, I need to try this, and I thought, let's try it on the live demo and see what it does. I probably should have done it on a couple of files. It's probably going to take quite a wee while, but pretty cool, I think. There's a guy at work who I was showing this stuff, and it was basically using he was trying to write unit tests for C#, and he's like, I don't know how to test this, and I was like, well, neither do I, but I opened up his code project and showed him this, and he was like, this is incredible, and I was like, yeah, and it wrote tests for him. I did it like X unit, and I was like, well, no, N unit, I think, and I was like, but we need an X unit, and I was like, well, just tell it, and it rewrites the code and runs the tests and things like that. It's crazy.
Yeah, I've had good success with things like testing as well with agent mode. It's pretty good at that.
Yeah, so I like the fact that it tells you what it's doing and it gives you an example, and you know what I mean. It's like, look at this, look at the security improvements it's telling me. Yeah. I've basically like not done TLS 1.2. I've not added SQL auditing. So in my Bicep, I'm creating SQL Server, but I haven't followed best practice. It's adding.
Have you noticed the difference between beast mode for the Bicep without it Like, did you immediately
Yeah,
notice
so the way I was doing it, it was semi-successful. It wasn't the best, to be honest with you, but so it's added like description, min length, and max length, and all that kind of stuff. So what's it doing now? Let's see what it's doing now. These improvements will make your right. Okay, so let's have a look at, I don't know, one of the files. Normally it shows you the changes. I'm not really sure what's happened there. I don't know what's happened there. I think you can basically go in and each file and just get it to make the changes. But you can see all the changes it's made here. Change the coding structure. Yeah, pretty nifty. The other one is if you have Terraform, for people who do Terraform, so that we're not just doing Bicep. I'm just going to clear the chat, right? So it's completely brand new. I've never written Terraform in my life, but let me just do write me Terraform for the same thing, right? Let's see what it does. You guys, you know Terraform, Dan. You can tell me if this is good or terrible or in between.
A bit rusty, but yeah.
So
I'll ask the agents tell me.
Yeah, it's basically gone out to different resources to go and look at stuff.
So it's actually going to look for Google search and then
I'll show you how to
okay.
I'll show you how to create agents, and I'll show you like some of the ones that I made that were not very good. Like you can actually tell it to go to that repo as like a source of truth. Yeah, so it's doing it itself. Beast mode seems to do a really good job of it. I was basically saying in my Bicep thing, go here, here, and here. But my instructions were quite large compared to beast mode, and yeah, so now it's going to go and get the latest docs to check things are correct.
Is that baked into beast mode, like API?
Aye, everyone's beast mode's not got much in it. If I go to here,
that was something I always noticed, that getting agents to reference ABM correctly, was always a bit difficult.
Yeah, I'll show you some examples of what I tried and what didn't work. And then the guy from Australia showed you another way of doing it, and I thought, right, this is cool. So I don't know. Let's do keep. Still working on it. Does that look reasonable? I don't know.
I have no idea.
Yeah, me neither. Does that look reasonable?
Not in one file, I don't think it's reasonable, but it's.
I mean, again, you could tell it. I've only got one Terraform file, so you could say like go and do stuff, but I mean, it checks out. There's no errors in it, I don't think. So I don't know. Again, if you don't want output parameters, you just tell it you don't want output parameters. One other example, let's create a README, right? So let's get rid of this. So I've got a README file. Let's do /clear. Create me. Let me just delete that file actually. So let's say you want a README file in your solution, or you want documentation. Let's see what it does for this, right? So again, I'm not really writing any code here, just telling it what to do. I get it to create GitHub ignore files. I get it to create GitHub instructions, all that stuff.
Yeah, that's really cool.
It's pretty nifty. Yeah, I've got another couple of demos. I've got one more demo, I think. In fact, this is probably the last demo. Yeah, there you go. There's the README. Let's do.
Nice tree.
So it gives you a nice wee tree, gives you features, and let's do keep that, and then let's do open preview. So there's your README. I think that's nifty.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like I didn't like that, and it's a good start. Do you know what I mean? Right. Yeah, so you can use it to write the code. You can use it to update existing projects, not just Bicep, anything. How you create an agent? Let me show you that real quick. So what you do is you go down to agent, right, and then you can do edit. Yes, let's do that. You can go down to configure mode, right? So let's say configure modes, and then do you want to create a new chat, a custom chat mode file? Right? Let's do that. Yeah, you can either save it in your GitHubs folder or you can save it in the data folder. Let's just say the GitHub chat mode. So let's call it Learn Terraform. I'm just making this up as we go, so this might not work. Right. So normally what you would do is you put in the instructions here. So you give it some sort of purpose. Right, and for those people who do know what MCP is, you can plug in MCP servers. So they're probably a Terraform MCP server, and you can go in and you can search for it. I've got GitHub Copilot for Azure. I've got, in fact, in my Visual Studio, not Visual Studio Insiders, I've got more and more of these. you can basically plug in the tools. So let me go to the other one.
Is Greg, is the edit mode a preview thing? Because it looks like you're in the preview VS code, right? Because
you can do it. You can do it. Let me go in here. I'll do it in the other one, right? So let's go into the non-VS, the non. Let me just bring up.
Being selfish because I was following you.
What's that? Sorry.
I was being selfish because I was following
No.
the demo.
No, I can show you how to do beast mode, right? So, here's an example, right? So, let me go and let me start again. So, if I go to the chat, in fact, I won't do that. I'll show you the ones that I've done for AVM. This is my beginner one. So, let me edit that. This is what I started with, right? So, I'm basically saying use the I gave it a description of how to write Bicep using a custom, I can't even type, custom chat mode, right? And then I basically said use some tools. So one of the MCP servers I'm using is the Azure stuff, which is what you were demoing, John. And then I'm saying act as an Azure cloud engineer with a specialized, this is my version of it, right? I'm saying make use of the Azure verified modules best practice, BR, public, blah. Check the Azure documentation for Bicep documentation, use best practice. And it kind of worked, kind of didn't work. I had to do things like between the module comment and the module, I had to add things, and it kind of worked, but it started using old versions and guessing the versions, and then the Australian guy who's you can tell it to go and look up certain websites. You can say go here.
So do you know what I have a difficulty in understanding?
But beast mode doesn't do that. Beast mode just says go and fetch and figure out what you need to know. And his one was like this.
Yeah.
Let me edit that one because his is.
So Gregor, I have a question. So
go for it.
I have difficulties in understanding what the difference is between the chat modes and the custom instructions. Do you know that?
There isn't really anything. Apart from you talking about the GitHub instructions?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not really that much of a difference. I don't see. We'll come back to that question in 2 seconds, right? So this is the Australian guy's version. He was saying use Azure verified modules. Here's the index to go and get the list of modules. Here's the repo to go to. Cool. Yeah, so this is what I liked. He was basically saying this is the format that I want it in. That's what I struggled with. Then he's saying go to the module folder structure kind of looks like that. The registry, he wants it to look like that. And then he's saying pick up the resources from here, the patterns and the utilities. And his was a lot cleaner, I think. So he was using what you were demoing there, John. He was using use that, and then use that. I think beast mode replaces 90% of this. In fact, more than 90% of it. It's just doing it all.
Okay, cool.
And it's nice to add things like that. Always decorate the code with comments, add descriptions to everyone. I put, when it first worked, the notes were at the bottom, like what the file does. So I said put it at the top. It sometimes generates output parameters. I'm like, don't need them. And sometimes it used to create resources instead of using modules. So I was telling it what to do. So yeah, that's the version that I was using. Another example is, so if you want to create one of these, you basically go to configure modes, create a new chat mode, give it a name, let's call it Terraform, learn Terraform, or press return. And then you just need to give it a description, let's call it learn Terraform. And you would put in, if you know the Terraform repos and all that, you would put this in the instructions here, like act. You can say act as a Terraform engineer. You get the idea, right? And I can't type. Yeah, there you go. Something like that. I can't type. And then you save that. And then down here, you now have learn Terraform. So you can now use that agent to learn Terraform and ask it questions and go and you get the idea. The mentor one's quite cool. The mentor one is this is if you want a mentor and you want to learn anything, you can do. Let me show you this. How to do that again? Where's it? Mentor. So you're in mentor mode. Your task is to provide guidance and support to an engineer to find the right solution. So if you don't know what, I don't know, private endpoints are, you can say, what are private endpoints? In fact, let me demo it real quick.
You can actually add the MCP for Microsoft Docs as well.
Yeah, no, I've done that.
really-
I've done that. I think I've done it in here. Yeah, so you can say like, what are private endpoints, and then it'll start kind of asking you things. And I got this from this guy's repo, which is I think I've got a link somewhere. Let me just see. This guy here. Oh, let me change that to. I want how it scroll. This guy covers all of that there. Have a look at that. So yeah, so I've basically now I'm talking it to about like questions to challenge your understanding. So it's basically challenging your understanding of what private endpoints are. And then you can ask it, and it asks you considerations. Do you really need them? What's your networking topology? So it's back and forth, which is quite nice.
I can see that being quite powerful when you're learning, even just learning Bicep and Terraform, and you want to you want to learn
absolutely
what something about what it's doing. Yeah.
What you also can do is like ask for a mentor, like you're doing right now, and then feed that output to another agent, and implement this knowledge in your actual code.
Yeah,
so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'm using it for writing designs and stuff like that. Just don't tell them that.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, I'm like, tell me about this. Like, I don't know, something I might not know much about, and I'm like, what are the well architected framework recommendations for this service, and it will tell you. And yeah, it's really amazing. The other thing we need to talk about real quick is where is the right? Are you guys using that next edit suggestions? Do you know about that?
Sure. Yeah, I love that.
So for people who don't know what that is, the example that I saw of this was really cool. There was a C# class where the girl was demoing adding 2 numbers. So the code had already been written, and she wanted to change the method to add 3 numbers. So she started like saying, like, change the method name to add 3 numbers. And next edit suggestion was like, would you like to have 3 parameters instead of 2? And you can tab it, and it changed all of the code and all of the tests to now test for adding 3 numbers. And she didn't actually type any code, and I was like, that's crazy.
That's very
cool. Yeah, I use it a lot for refactoring, like in PowerShell, or just small typos in Bicep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really love it. It's amazing, and it's not enabled by default, so you have to enable it.
Yeah. There was a couple. Yeah. The other thing I wanted to show you some of these links, right? Some of these links that. Oh no, that's not what I wanted to do. Let me move you guys over here. You still see my screen, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see Dan on your
screen. Let me.
Great.
Yes. Sorry. That's the awesome Azure Bicep repo. So definitely style that. Oh, John's just done a merge request. 10 hours ago. What else have we got? That's the guy's repo. So the guy's repo has instructions and prompts and basically everything that I've showed you real quick, how to go about doing it. You can create custom instructions, prompt files, chat modes, even shows you how to set up MVP servers with links to all of the best things. Like if you're doing Blazor or you're doing C#, all of the stuff, you can click it and it'll install it for you. So you can click that and it'll add it. So you don't even need to do that.
Oh,
so he's got loads of cool stuff in here. Check that out. That's awesome. This is his video where he actually goes into a lot of detail. This is where he was talking about the mentor and how he's changing all his code to do all sorts of stuff. This is beast mode. You can click on it. It gives you the gist, which is basically shows you how to set it up. So you go down. You basically gives you the instructions of like what to do in these GitHub and this gist. So all you have to do is follow that. This is a cool tip. Inside VS Code, you can basically say auto approve true. So it won't say, do you want me to do the next bit? You just keep doing yes. If saves you having to basically click yes a lot of the time. And you can say do max request 100, so it will continue doing it. And then that's the instructions for it. So it's fairly easy. And then
insane, right? Insane.
Yeah.
Mode.
That's all of that beast mode's going to replace all of the things that I'm using, I think.
I just installed it. It literally takes like a minute. Not even
Yeah.
that.
Yep. So yeah, even these two settings are quite useful. You can do that in VS Code or VS Code Insider. Doesn't matter. And it's on version 3.1, so he does update it quite a lot. It's from a guy called Burke Holland. Let me see if I can find his. I actually follow all of his stuff, so I've got a notification on for his stuff because it's brilliant. So he works on code at Microsoft, and he's basically doing one tonight about AI coding in Claude, but this is his beast mode stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, he showed some stuff on the summit as well on VS Code. It was really cool.
Yeah, super nice guy, super helpful.
Yeah.
If you're ever stuck with anything, he's super useful at helping you out as well. So yeah, do you want to demo anything? Do you want me to stop demoing?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. I want to show because it works now. I opened another project.
Right. Let me figure out what I'm doing here. Let me remove my laptop. Okay, so hopefully you can't see my screen now. Yep, cool.
So I actually have two things. I want to show my first thing. So I was doing a contribution on AVM. Let me see, which one do I need to pick? This one. Great.
Okay, let me add you.
I am going to zoom in. Is this readable? I will do it one more.
Let me see if I can make it bigger. Oh no, that's not one. Okay, ignore that. I think that's as large as it gets.
All right. So I was doing a contribution on the DevOps infrastructure resource, and it's the managed DevOps pools, if I'm correct. So what I wanted to do is you can do a day's data property, and that what it means is that you can put in configure standby agents for your managed DevOps pool. So you always have specific set of agents ready on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday.
Oh, okay. Nice.
That's what I created for AVM. But like a few weeks ago, Alexander from AVM team added this one, the all week scheme, and I wanted to add a weekday scheme. But as you can see, let me close this for a bit. As you can see, it's a pretty complex, how do you say it, expression. So I needed to put in, like in the middle, some stuff. So I just asked Copilot to do it for me. Let's see if this is the correct chat. You improve. Okay, so it's not the correct chat. Let me see if I am with here. Oh yeah. So I just asked Copilot if you could add it for me, like the weekday scheme. Oh, you cannot double click it. To add a preset from Monday till Friday, because at my current client, I'm seeing that people are just defining this for the whole week. And I was like, this can be better. So let's just introduce the weekdays property, and it does it for you, like under the hood between 1 and 5, so Monday to Friday in a loop. So it actually just goes through the code and just adds it, like with no effort at all.
That's cool.
Very good.
Yeah, it's really good. So after that, I wanted to add some more stuff, like the fail function. Let's see if I add here.
What's the fail function for people who don't know?
Okay, so if you don't know what the fail function is, I can show it. In this piece of this piece of the module, the input validation block is used to check if the all week scheme and the weekday scheme is not used together or with a weekday. So if that's happening, so if some things are combined, then the deployment needs to fail because it's not correct, right? It's a configuration error. So you can actually throw with the function, for fail function, you can throw a custom error message in your deployment. So if you if this this failure is hit, it actually shows you in the deployment in Azure and in your deployment pipeline or locally this message.
That's very cool.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
That there's a configuration error and that there's something is happening that's not correct. So that's what you can do with the fail function. So, but what I wanted to show, but I guess my prompt is not here anymore, or my chat, is that you can also use AVM or GitHub Copilot for Azure or GitHub Copilot in general to do changes for you in AVM if you're not entirely sure what you want, what you need to change. You can actually use that. For the other one, let's see if I can change it easily. Changing. I have two VS Code instances open. The other one, it's smaller. Share. So this is readable, right? So this is my Bicep playground. I do a lot of stuff in here. So just don't look at my thingy. So what I wanted to show you, like in the beginning of the demos, it's similar to what Gregor showed us, but I'm actually just asking the Copilot to create a Azure key vault and then use the tools that Gregor also mentioned.
See, I didn't know you could do the hash like that. So I've learned that. That's cool.
Yeah, you can do a hashtag.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. So what it does, it's first gets the code best practices. Like it's like a page on the Microsoft Docs. It's retrieving it from there, I think. And then after that, when it's done, it actually checks the schema of the Azure Key Vault, gets the properties, just gets more context, basically. And then it actually creates the Bicep template for you. This can take a while, though. Oh,
yeah.
Great. So you can click on it, and you can actually see what the output is. It's in something the agent can read, but we can't. And here as well, the resource type, Microsoft Key Vault says vaults, and it actually outputs in JSON format, because you can see the API version. You can see the resource name that is required, and a lot of properties, and then it's actually creating it for you. It's not AVM yet, so you can also see some failures here. Declaration default tags is not valid. Oh, it fixed. So it's actually validated against the schemas and the Azure resources in.
That's cool.
Yeah. So you can use it in combination with your chat modes, which you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which you just showed us.
You asked me what's the difference between the chat modes and the GitHub instructions. I'm not really sure. I've not spent a lot of time doing this, but yeah, I'm not entirely sure. So for people who don't know, what's the GitHub instructions file, John? Explain that, what that is.
So the GitHub instructions, what I think is that you actually give instructions about the code base, what it contains, what your naming conventions are, what your way of work is, and that kind of stuff. Yeah. So did you always say, always put a description, or do this camel case, that kind of stuff. And I think with the chat mode is you actually tell the agent how to behave, like not really the conventions of your code base, but how to behave. Like, it's something I still struggle with understanding.
What I thought the instructions files were for kind of getting, like, putting coding standards that a company might have into like a document so that it always sticks to that standard. But you can still do that with the agent.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm not really sure what the difference is. Ahmed's put a comment in which is quite interesting. Chat modes is about how you want the AI agent to work no matter what repo you're in. You have a planner, a specification writer, custom instructions. Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
So this is what I wanted to share a bit. This is what I use on a daily basis for when I'm doing complex stuff.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on all this? I mean, I think it's amazing. I really do. When I demo some of this stuff to people, they're like, "Wow, this is scary."
Yeah, I think this is really powerful. So, especially for Bicep, it's really good because it just has so much documentation around it, so much information around it, a lot of blogs, a lot of examples already, that it's really easy to generate generate code from this document because it already knows it.
So the other week there, I've always wanted to write an app to record my golf scores, right? I know this is really sad, but I'm a golfer. And I always wanted to, and I wrote an app. I wrote the code to do this, but it looked horrendous, right? And I thought, I was on the stream with a guy there a couple of weeks ago, and I always forget people's names. And I'm like, it gave me the idea of just trying it using an agent. So I was like, write me this. I think within an hour, I had it fully working and it looked great. And it was actually creating like the model using Entity Framework, and it did all the migrations every time I said change it from this to that. And I was blown away. Like, I've written 2 full apps using the latest .NET. I haven't written .NET for 10 years. And it did it end to end. And don't get me wrong, it wasn't great to begin with. And I'm like, tweak this bit. And I didn't actually write a single line of code. And see when it was finished, it was exactly what I wanted. And I was like, this is nuts. Like, then it asked you, like, do you want help deploying it to Azure? And I was like, this is crazy. It really is mental.
You need GitHub Spark now.
Yeah. So I am. I don't know if you can see my screen, but Dan just mentioned GitHub Spark. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So yesterday, I believe,
Spark.
GitHub Spark got released, and it's something I'm also really excited about.
This is nuts.
Because this is really cool, right? So you can. Yeah. Let's just do a preset.
I did one last night, and I'm like, wow.
GitHub Spark is like a really low effort way to create a web app that you can actually host on Azure. Yeah, on GitHub, but under the hood it's Azure, and you can integrate AI in it. So let's just do the to-do list app one. What it actually does, it's queries the you just do a prompt, right? So create a to-do list, create tasks or add tasks, mark as complete, and organize them in categories. It is actually using Copilot under the hood. I'm not sure which model, but I think it's Claude. And it's actually generating a web app for us right now under the hood. You can do preview mode, code mode, or both. And you can actually see that it starts with this. It's a really simple app that you can export it. So it's an empty page right now, but it's creating a product requirements document. Product requirement document. It's writing its own product documents.
It's crazy. So it really is.
Yeah, it's so cool.
It's really cool. So while this is going, it's Spark. While this is going, I have one that's really cool. I just wanted to do some weird stuff, so I created the most confusing web app ever.
Nice.
So this is how it looks like when it's done with generating the application. So it's a lot of code under the hood with HTML libraries. I saw more stuff, but
it looks like one of those old school like virus websites.
Yeah. So I just did. This was one prompt, but you can also do suggestions, right? Like add a maze puzzle.
Amazing.
You can click it, but you can also publish it. So you can publish it to all GitHub users, or just for yourself or your organization, which is coming soon. Yeah. So if you click this link, you go actually to the website. So it's an actual website that you can just do, and it's pretty nice. Okay, so this is fun, right? But you can actually use use Spark for other more useful stuff. Like I have created one where I wanted to convert a Word document to Markdown. So I just asked, create an intelligent Word document processor. This processor converts Word documents to Markdown, and it's actually working. It's just actually working. I don't have Word on me right now. Do I have a Word document on my desktop? No, I do not.
That's pretty cool.
That's cool. That's a really good demo of that. That's very cool.
Yeah, but you can actually just upload one.
Just drag a document on it and it does it for you.
Yeah, and it converts to Markdown. It's not perfect, but it's a good way to start.
Yeah.
You have to really see it as a extra helpful tools for your work, right? Or your team.
Very cool. So, last question I think I've got for you guys. I was watching a video before we came online where there's a guy in America and he works in the building industry, and he's like, I'm not worried about AI because let me add you guys in again. In fact, let me change that. He's like, I'm not worried about AI because AI isn't coming for welders, it isn't coming for plumbers, and it isn't coming for electricians and things like that, but it is coming for coders. And I've seen a few videos recently where large companies in America, the CEO is basically saying, we're not hiring junior developers. What's your thoughts on that? And do you think that we could even get replaced someday, or do you think we'll always have a job? John, what do you think?
It's really hard. I think eventually we will be replaced probably. But it's with everything, right? So there will probably be new jobs back in that sense. So but I think welders and stuff will get replaced eventually because you get robots, and if you go really look into the future, then it probably a lot of physical jobs will also be replaced, and then you can do fun stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly. What's your thoughts on that, Dan?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think, like, especially at the minute, it's more of like an accelerator, like a multiplier. Like, especially for like us guys and people watching who are already using it in anger. It like we can accelerate so much quicker, and it's like our code programmer, isn't it, at the moment? Whereas, maybe eventually it takes over the code bit and just does the doing instead. But like John says, I think there's always something else. There's always something to do, right? There's something else to maintain because of that, right? So I think it just shifted out a bit more. The expertise.
Maybe you're going to manage agents instead.
Yeah. Pick them back up. Reboot
right,
them.
Before we go, I missed a question from Ahmed. Ahmed's got a question. So either of you guys want to answer that one, feel free.
I think they do want to move it into ABM. I think I spoke to Jack Tracy a while ago about it briefly. I think they want an option in ABM to do the landing zone accelerator, which is why I think if you look now on the pattern drop down in AVM for autocomplete on the IntelliSense, you'll see I think a pattern for landing zone that's with empty on the end. I think it is at the moment. Right. So I would imagine so. That's
work in progress.
Yeah.
They've got the sub bending already there. It's been there for a while, right? So imagine it's just a matter of time, really. That's my take.
Yeah. So don't they want to convert the ALZ Bicep to AVM as well? There's a repo ALZ Bicep.
The ALZ Bicep. Yeah. I suspect that's I think that was the plan to move that to AVM, or I think even back when it was the public registry, they wanted it in there, but it's obviously quite a lot of work. It's if you've seen that ALZ Bicep repo, it's quite large. It's a lot going on, so it wouldn't be simple.
Yeah. Right, just before we go, Dan, that's Dan's blog. If you want to recap on his blog, Rios.engineer. John's blog is at johnlokerse.dev. Let me take the ticker off this. The Azure Bicep user group is that. For anyone who wants to join that, please do. If you've not already signed up, it's awesome. What else have we got? We've got the beast mode stuff. Let me just put the beast mode stuff back up. That's the beast mode link there. Definitely check it out. I'm going to be using that a bit more. I just installed it like half an hour before we started. So yeah, shout out to Luke for showing me the Australian guy's stuff. I keep forgetting his name. I'm terrible with names, so apologies. But his stuff is really, really good. So yeah, I learned quite a lot from prompt engineering and setting up agents from that. Check that out. What else we got? There's a couple other links that you guys have shared during the call. So let me.
Yeah, I just called out. Going back to the fail function quickly. If you were watching this and you wanted to learn the fail function, like a really simple example, then I have an example in that Bicep repo that just shows you 2 practical examples of what the fail function can do that you can do yourself. So
it's a pretty nice repo, Dan. I really like it.
Thanks, appreciate that.
And we've also got your cheat sheet. But bear with me while I'm cutting and pasting all these links. Let's do that.
Oh yeah, John's cheat sheet. Which is also
John's Bicep cheat sheet. That's hard to say. Cool. I think we've got another couple of comments. What else we got? Yeah, some was there, but it was pulled. Alan was saying.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know
that. And all the extra bits for AVM need adding. Alan, when are you coming on? Because you're always on here, and I don't think I've ever. I don't know if we've met. I can't remember. But if you just want to come on and talk about something, please do. Right. Hopefully you guys learn stuff. I definitely learned stuff from you guys, so that was awesome. I always like
really
that.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, you too, yeah. Awesome.
Lots of really cool stuff. Let me know if you ever want to come on and demo anything again. Feel free. Sorry, Dan, I didn't give you much notice for doing demos. We just decided at the last minute. Don't worry about that. Yeah. Hopefully people have learned that, and I'll let you know when the YouTube video's up, and you can share that and stuff like that. Just wanted to say thanks for coming on, John. Thanks for coming on, Dan. Very much appreciated. I know it's quite late for you now, John. Must be bedtime.
No, it's okay.
he's off tomorrow, so it's all good.
So if anyone has questions about Bicep or something, just ask them in the community group.
Great point.
And if you don't know how, or if you are unsure about your question, just reach out to us. It's no problem.
Where's the best place to reach you guys? LinkedIn or Twitter or
LinkedIn, Twitter, X, Blue Sky.
Same for you, Dan? Same places?
Yeah, LinkedIn's probably my main, but yeah, Blue Sky, X as well, if that's what you're using.
Brilliant. Sure. Okay, let's wrap up there. Thank you very much for your time, gentlemen. I really appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
Let me just click end stream. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.